Now, the card we have here on the bottom is the Judgment card. Excuse me. And the Judgment card has to do with the completion of a cycle that we've been going through, the karmic lesson that we've been learning. Just like I said, there's no scary cards in the deck. They're all designed to help us break karmic cycles and patterns, to learn the lessons from any karmic experiences we've been going through so that we can rise above and beyond. I don't know if you can see it, but there's somebody on a horse, or excuse me, it's a reindeer flying over a rainbow. That may seem like a silly image, but the idea is that we have learned something. And even with these two trees here, we have moved through kind of a doorway to a more enlightened state of being. And this polar bear here has just crawled out of this cave, which is something of a womb-like symbol, where he or she has gone within to understand life and to emerge from this reborn. Right? So there's a rebirth image in this. So let's take a look at the rest of the cards in here and see. I do want to point out, though, this is grabbing me right here. Just underneath the Judgment card, we have the Sun card, which is truly the happiest card in the deck. Once we release our karmic baggage, our karmic lessons, we can move on to such a happy and joy-filled state because we're lighter, we're ascending, we're becoming closer and more connected with our truest self and our truest purpose. And there's such beauty to be had within that. So all of this is leading you towards that path of enlightenment along your way. Now, the first card we have here is the King of Stones, which is represented by Horse. Horse is about travel, about movement. Now, typically, Stones is the slowest suit. The King of Stones can be very slow. Be that as it may, it's about having four square. Like, if you look at their legs, they're very solidly planted on the earth. You're not going to go cow tipping for horses. You're just not going to do it. King of Stones is very, very stable energy. This King of Stones may perhaps be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn in your life. It could be somebody living in that energy. This could represent a boss, a supervisor at work. It could represent you being in that type of energy, Aquarius. Something like that, right? Somebody that is kind of in that, but managing themselves, right? This could be you. This could be somebody close to you, paying the bills, taking care of the routine, the day-to-day routine. Now, I'm also seeing here this energy of reflection. This energy of reflection here. So you've been going within. You've been trying to understand life's lessons. This card is the Moon card in other decks. But it does have to do with this idea of water and air and being able to go within. Understanding yourself, understanding the mysteries of the night, understanding, developing your intuition and so on. Be on the lookout for places of deception. I'm not really feeling that there's a whole lot of that going on in this reading. If the cards were surrounded by other things, I'd be more concerned about it. I think really here it's more about understanding how your internal world is being expressed in your outside. And having a new kind of an idea for something. I feel like your intuition is guiding you into some new form of behavior. In that you're having some kind of an idea that you may get to the place of understanding that from a reflection or from a meditation standpoint. Like taking time to go within, you may have that wisdom or that insight of what you need to do to solve some kind of a problem, or to be able to, maybe not even a problem, but to move to the next level in your life. It seems like you've got your material going on, that you're coming from a stable place, your home life, your family, your job, whatever. It seems like that's very stable for you. However, that doesn't mean that we don't want growth opportunities. This could be about getting that horse, instead of standing still, you want the horse to begin moving into a new direction. Stagnation can lead to boredom, and boredom can be a destructive energy. We can become angry in our boredom, or complacent, or unappreciative, or any number of negative things can tailspin out of stability. I know that sounds weird. We want the stability, but we also want to be able to, we want to feel grounded, but we want to keep climbing higher and higher into the branches to see what's up there. Some of the best sunlight is attainable to us the higher we climb. Now, some of you may have some kind of a challenge that you're going through. Two of Stones, these rabbits here are boxing. They are not celebrating or playing. They are struggling for dominance. So it may be that for some of you, there's some kind of workplace drama that's going on. I mention your workplace because the centerpiece of this is your skill, your Eight of Stones. Eight of Stones is about productivity and working on a task. I feel like some of you are really just, you're interested in just kind of keeping your head down and getting your work going on, but then there's somebody trying to create drama at the workplace. That's kind of how it looks. It could possibly be drama that's taking place with a manager or a supervisor, or that your supervisor has been involved in trying maybe to resolve this kind of a conflict, or that something else like that's going on. But it is causing you to think about what you need to do, and it may be giving you some incentive to change jobs even. That may be what this breath of life is indicating for some of you. Like, if these people aren't going to act right, then just get me the hell out of here, because I don't need to play with this kind of nonsense. And this Judgment card, as we go back to it, karmic lesson. We can't control what other people think of us. And in fact, it's none of our business, but sometimes people like to tell us that anyway. Screw that. This Judgment card can also reflect right thinking. Right thinking, meaning that maybe it is about taking steps to get the hell out of wherever you are in your career. And I do feel, this is just coming in right now, like, for some of you, whatever this drama is with this Two of Stones card, it could be triggering something that has to do with a more, a deeper issue. Like a link to some childhood or earlier stage issue. Like maybe you're finding that this drama at work it reminds you of drama from your past that has an emotional hook. Like this stuff would not bother you half so bad if it didn't remind you of something from an earlier time in your life that actually did affect you in a negative way on a much deeper level. So that may be playing in, and that might be some of this karmic lesson that it's about overcoming and learning from. This Guardian coming up here. This Guardian is about facing our demons, facing the challenges. It seems that you're willing, to go in here and do this, right? It seems that you're looking at that. That's what this reflection is all about, is being able to understand where you're coming from so that you can face the Guardian and challenge the Guardian of the cage. This is a dead cave bear, basically. He's like a living corpse. He's all tattered. This scary, scary cave. This is sort of where our shadow side likes to hide and create problems for us if we don't understand what's going on in that. This reflection card indicates, though, that there's a really, really great part of you that is about looking into that. That I don't feel like you're coming from a place of fear the way some may. You do not have to fear what is inside this cave, because it's all about our relationship with ourselves. There's no monster in the closet. There's a projection of our insecurities and fear in that closet. That's all that it is. There's nothing can hurt you. Nothing can hurt you without your consent. Now, that doesn't mean the random, weirdo news story in the future or something like that. But that's most likely not what's going on. this type of stuff, it's always about ourselves. When somebody calls us a name and it hurts our feelings, it's about us allowing it to hurt our feelings because it's tying into a deeper wounding. Somebody somewhere at some place in time who was more important than this fool right now said something to us, and it actually did matter because it was probably a family member or a teacher or someone we looked up to, somebody that we actually cared about. And this fool in front of us now is triggering us. This is why it's important to face the shadow side, to face the guardian in this cave, because we have to knock down this bag of bones right here so that we can move on to something much, much better, that we can let this all go. Now, this seer energy, you know what's going on. This is not taking you unawares, this drama. This is a petty drama on the superficial, but it's actually the key to opening a much deeper avenue into understanding and learning the art of self-love, self-care, self-acceptance, teaching yourself, I am good enough. This is why you're going through all of this right now. This is all of it right now. This guardian is only as scary as you make him out to be. Because that workplace tiny little drama, or it could be, drama with your teenager or whoever's, giving you pause at home or whatever. I do think that for a lot of you, it's the workplace. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. That King of Stones could be your husband. It could be, a daughter that's got a ramrod personality. It could be anybody, really. Take it as it resonates because it's your unique experience. This is a general reading here. But I don't feel like this is somebody that's really, really destructive or going to destroy you or anything like that. I think this is about they are giving you, in a weird ass way, they are giving you a very deep ability to overcome this for once and for all. That you don't have to go through this type of experience again. You can totally disempower this person by claiming your own personal power. And this is where it's going. We've got this Page of Wands here. Page of Wands is about new beginnings of things that we're passionate about. It's about a start. But you'll notice too, look at the bottom here. We've got a stoat that's holding, I don't know if that's a baby stoat or like food, but you see these other two, they're curious, they're getting along. This is about a happy family, and this is about the beginning of new passion, right? This branch here is growing greenery on it. It's new life is coming in, and your outcome from all of this is respect. Guarding yourself, protecting yourself, you better believe it. You better be sure, yes. But it's about new start in your home, new found respect for yourself and from others to you. Sometimes when we say, no, that's not okay, that's when we do hear respect from other people, even if they don't like us and even if they don't want to hear that big fat no. Sometimes that's exactly what they need to hear before they will back off. And then they're learning too, hey, she seemed so quiet. She seemed like an easy target because I'm a bully. But you know what? She said no. And sometimes big surprises come in little packages. So self-care, ladies and gentlemen, self-care. Choose your battles, but when you do, stick up for yourself. And understand that every person in our life is, in a sense, kind of like an extra in the movie of our life, or they're something about them is a part of us too. Like, how do I want to explain that? If someone outside of us, someone at our workplace is picking on us or being mean or bitchy or whatever it is that they're doing to us, they're teaching us about something important. Every person's our teacher. And usually if we dig deep enough, there's something we can relate to in someone. They're either pissing us off because we do value ourselves and therefore we need to put down the no, on that, or, they're teaching us about, letting go of valuing people's opinions who are ultimately not important. Like they're very tiny extras in the movie of our life and they don't play any kind of a key role. And as such, we don't need to give them the kind of power that enables their lousy comments or whatever to hurt us deeply. Now, I am shuffling these cards to have one other piece of wisdom that we can take with us today. It is the Animal Wise Tarot by Ted Andrews. And it seems that this is just based on the previous parts of the reading, this just seems like it's spot on. Reclaiming power and fruits of labor. The jaguar is also known as a panther. Related to the leopard family of large cats, it is even more powerful. An animal of great mysticism and significance, jaguar's appearance reflects a time of reclaiming our own power. Whether it was lost, stolen, or broken, there is arising a time to claim our power and express it again, even more strongly and solidly than if we had not lost it in the first place. We will now be able to enjoy the fruits of our labors. The jaguar, like most large cats, is a stalker who will patiently wait until its prey is close enough to strike strong and hard. When jaguar appears, our patience is about to be rewarded, but we must strike when the opportunity presents itself. The jaguar's strike has great power and it will often bite through the temporal lobe of its prey. They have even been known to shear off the heads of other animals with a single swipe of their claws. Because of this, when jaguar appears, we should trust in our own instincts and not those of others to know how best to attack. Because jaguar stalk, it is important when this animal appears not to let others know of our plans. Otherwise, the opportunity to reclaim what is rightfully ours might be missed. The jaguar is endowed with great magic and ability. This cat can climb, run, and even swim better than the tiger. Because it functions so well in so many environments, the jaguar is a symbol of mastery over dimensions in which others cannot survive. Its appearance heralds good opportunities from various directions. Our efforts and patience are about to be rewarded in far greater ways than we had anticipated. This is a time of reclaiming our power, of reclaiming what was lost, giving us the ability to go beyond what has been imagined. If we pursue the opportunities with discipline and control, we are bestowed with the blessings of the hero's quest, and the promise of the return to the hero's path will manifest within our life. I will read the reverse here. The Arawak people say that everything has jaguar, that nothing can exist without it. Stories abound of revenge, abductions, and even great cures through the use of jaguar power. If jaguar is in reverse, we may need to be cautious about others stealing our power or our opportunities. We may be letting others know of our plans and intentions and thus giving away our strengths and possibilities before we get a chance to act upon them. Remember that jaguar stalks silently. The time to discuss plans or possibilities with others is after we have captured the prize. Jaguar in reverse can imply situations around us are not what they appear to be, or we may be disappointed with the results of our efforts at this time. The jealousy of others or ourselves may be undermining our efforts. Our own insecurities and timidness about acting when the opportunity presents itself may be hindering us. Some questions to ask. Are we acting too aggressively in our undertakings? Are we responding too intensely? Do we need to temper responses so as not to unintentionally wound others? Are we giving our power and thus our rewards to someone else? Are we letting the past stop us from accomplishments in the present? Are we being too impatient in achieving our goals?